Just start seated as we normally do. Just take a moment to just get comfortable in your seated position by letting the back relax a little bit, but also just grow tall, so you could roll the shoulders up and back. And just slightly tuck the chin in. And maybe just rock back and forth on your seat so you can find where your center is. And with the next few breaths, or the first few breaths, just think about bringing the attention down, down, down the spine and into the pelvis and into the roots that you could imagine coming out of the tailbone and out of the heels and the toes into the ground. So just like we're landing out of the sky of the mind and just coming home almost to the earth. And just starting to lengthen the breath. And just noticing how your breath is and where it comes to naturally. And where you feel comfortable to expand it to. Maybe it just feels comfortable to lengthen by a half a second. Or maybe you've got a little bit more space. And then we're just going to start to make little circles. You can keep the eyes closed and just start to circle in your seated position. The hands just resting on the knees. Just a gentle journeying around the spine. Or around your center, like you're winding all of the attention inwards. Coming into your center. And just acknowledging how it is to be in your center, in this present moment. Which is where the truth of the matter is, the truth of your moment, your existence. It's always in this moment. And you could start to just journey in the other direction as well when you're ready. And just a couple more. And we'll start to make the circles smaller and slower. And come back to your center. And eventually at a standstill, and just leave the eyes closed and just stay for a moment with that stillness. And then you just drop the chin down to the chest, and we'll start to roll the head up to one side and then roll the chin back down to the chest and back up to the other side. So we're just gently easing into the neck. And just spend the next few minutes just exploring into your neck in a way that feels comfortable to you. And you know, you might want to change the direction of you might want to make circles. You might want to change the direction of the chin a little bit, so you're just exploring different angles in the neck. And let the breath just ease out the crackles and the pops. And then we could just rest over to the left-hand side in whichever way you like. So you could have the ear towards the shoulder or turn the chin towards the shoulder. And then just find which position gives you a really good stretch. And then just hold that for three breaths. You could take the left hand on top of the head and the right hand towards the floor if you want a little extra stretch. Soften the shoulders. And then lift the hand off the head and lift the head up. And a couple of just loosening movements in the neck before you go to the other side. And then the same on the other side. So just finding where you get that sweet spot of a stretch. And then just pausing and holding the stretch. And you might want the hand on top of the head again. And the left hand towards the floor. And then lift the hand up, let the head float back up again, gently easing out the neck. And the final one, just drop the chin down towards the chest. And then take both hands on top of the head. So the weight of the arms is just giving an extra stretch. And then lift up the hands and let the head float back up again. And then we'll just straighten the legs out. And rotate the ankles a little bit. In both directions. And we'll just open the toes nice and wide and then push them away from us. So you're just drawing the toes back towards you and then pointing them away from you. And then we'll cross the legs back again. And this time we'll just keep them like hugged in like this. So that's how we're going to have them. Just so that you're kind of crossed at the ankles, let the knees drop down and bring the hands to the heart. So as we inhale, we're going to draw the knees up and raise the arms up. Hold the breath. And exhale to bring the hands back down again. So inhale to reach up. Hold the breath. Draw the pelvic floor in, draw the chin in, and then exhale. Inhaling to reach up. Tuck the chin in, draw the pelvic floor in, hold the breath, and then exhale. And then one more time, holding the breath. Knees up, pelvic floor in, tuck the chin in. And then we'll change the cross of the legs. So they're the other way around. So we'll do that 4 times on the other side then. So go in pace with your own breath. Inhaling. Holding in, getting that nice traction on the spine. Exhale. Final time, hold a little longer on the inhalation. And then we'll just uncross the legs and we'll take the feet over to the left hand side. So you've got the left foot tucked in and the right foot in front of you. And we're just going to interlace the hands and take them behind the head. And then open up the elbows. Open up the chest. And then as you exhale, take the left elbow towards the floor. So it's pointing to the floor and the right elbow is pointing to the ceiling. Just get that nice stretch on the right hand side of the body. And then as you come back up, reaching up, press the palms out and up. So you're reaching through the fingers. And then we're going to reach over to the right hand side, just arching over a little bit, and we can take the right hand to the floor and press the left palm up towards the ceiling. So you might want to bend the right elbow a little bit. And then come back up and take the left hand to the left foot and just turn around to look towards the left shin. So you've got a gentle twist in the back. One more nice long breath there. And then look back towards the front. And we'll just take the hands to the floor over the front knee. So the right knee is underneath the chest. And we'll start to walk the hands forwards and come onto the elbows and maybe come onto the forehead as well. So you can just send the elbows out to the side and rest the forehead on the hands. And then just soften into the position. And we'll take about 3 or 4 nice deep breaths there. And then we'll just lift the head, prop back up on the hands. And leaning into that side, just swing the legs out and over to the other side. So feet are on the right. And then we'll interlace the hands the other way around, so the awkward way around, and take the hands behind the head. Open up the elbows, looking up towards the sky. Take the breath in, and then as you exhale, tip the right elbow towards the floor and the left elbow towards the ceiling. And then coming back up, press the palms up towards the ceiling. And then just tilt over to the left hand side, stretching through the right hand side of the body, and take the left hand to the floor. Press the palm up towards the ceiling. And again, you might want to just bend the left elbow. And then coming back up, turn towards the right And just holding onto the shin there so you can twist over that side. And then we'll come back to the center and leaning over the front knee. So the left knee this time, ease the chest down over the knee and come onto the elbows or the forehead. For your animal relaxation pose. Just one more breath there. And we'll start to come back up again. And then walk around onto all fours for our cat. Marjarasana. The flexing into the spine. And then you could just off-piste a little bit. And bring some circles in, bring the neck and the hips in. We'll just be a couple more breaths here and then we'll start to aim back to a neutral spine. And then we'll just come to sit back on the heels for the child's pose. You reach the hands far ahead of you and bring the forehead to the floor. So we carry such a lot of responsibility and such a lot of stuff on our minds and on our shoulders. So the shoulders do take a lot of tension and stress and carry the weight, the mental weight of what we're experiencing. So this position, I love it because it's just this opening up and offering it down to the earth. Just emptying out the head, grounding all that electricity. And then we can come up, and if you're feeling that you want a nice stretch, you're feeling brave, you can tuck the toes under and sit back on the heels. So you've got the toes tucked under and you've got quite an intense stretch. But if not, sit how you would like to, kneeling. And then we'll just rotate the wrists a little. And I promise if you do this toe stretch regularly, it starts to feel a lot easier after a while, and it's a really therapeutic thing to practice. And we'll go the other way. And then just open up the hands, and on the horizontal, just turn them from side to side. So you're just turning the wrists from left to right. And then we'll just come up. If you've been on your toes, then just lift them up and just give them a bit of a pat on the floor. Alright, and then with the toes down this time, sit back on the heels. And, we're going to be on all fours still. Just have the hands turning back in towards you, so the fingers are pointing towards the knees. And then you've got a stretch on the inner arm. The fingers are facing the knees. And you could just sort of gently rock backwards and forwards. And if you feel that you could sit down on the heels, but gently just peel up the wrists and peel up the palms and the fingers as you come up, so you get that nice stretch. And then place them next to you, so fingers go facing backwards towards your feet, and rest the tops of the hands on the floor, so you've got the wrists all the way on the floor. And then again, you can rock from side to side a little bit, just letting a little bit of pressure onto the top of the wrists. And then coming up, and we'll kneel up, and then we'll just open and close the fingers really wide, squeezing and releasing. And then it becomes like flicking water. So flick, flick, flick. And then we'll flick out to the sides, and up and overhead, and out to the front, and out to the sides, and up and overhead, and to the front, and to the sides, and overhead. And then just pause and feel all that lovely tingling in the hands. Okay, we're going to come into the half heart opening pose. So from kneeling, take the hands down to the floor and take the right hand further ahead of you and the left elbow to the floor in front of you, so that the left forearm is horizontal. And then just take the bum back and take the forehead to the floor. We'll come back up and switch sides so that the left arm is reaching forwards. And coming back up, and if you want to, you could try both. Don't feel that you have to if that feels really intense. So you can come onto the forehead or the chin. And then come back up to all fours. Tuck the toes and unfold into a downward dog. And just spend some moments exploring into the stretch of the legs. Let's lift the heels really high so that you've got the toes nice and stretched again, and then lift the head to look towards the front, and then drop the head again and just bend the knees really deeply. So you've got heels high and knees bent. And then straighten up again, and we'll just walk towards the front of the mat. End up folding forwards. And this is a really nice place to shake out the head and the shoulders and the neck. So to come up, we're going to bend the knees and send the arms forwards so that you're coming up through a chair pose, and then reaching up and bring the hands to the heart. And we'll use that in our salutation in a moment, but for now we'll just do some floppy arms to loosen out all those shoulder exercises. So try and keep the hips and the knees facing front, and let the arms be really heavy and let them whack you a little bit. It's a nice massage for the kidneys. And then let's take the arms up to shoulder height. And then all the way up to the ceiling. And back down to shoulders. And back down to floppy arms. And then let it slow down and come to a standstill. And then we'll bring the feet in a little bit so they're a bit more hip width. And it's the skier or the wood chopper. So a deep breath in and a strong exhalation as you come out. So an HA chopping sound. Two more. And then just let the arms be loose. So we'll do a salutation, and we'll use that Utkatasana, which is the chair pose. So the chair pose is the feet are about hip width, and you sit back and raise the arms up. So it's essentially like that. So I'll talk us through it as we go through it, but that's how we'll start. So we'll take the hands to the heart. And just take the gaze ahead of you on the floor. Let the breath come back to that Ujjayi. And then inhale and reach the arms up. And separate the hands and leave the hands up. And then sit back into that Utkatasana, into the chair, reaching the arms up. Then take the hands to the floor and straighten the legs so you're folding forwards. Inhale to lift the head, and exhale to step both feet back to a plank position. Reach through the heels and reach through the crown of the head. Sweep the elbows in towards each other, and then drop the knees, and then lower down the chest and the chin. And then straighten the legs and straighten the hips. And lift up the head to a baby cobra pose. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to tuck the toes. And exhale to come back through kneeling to your downward dog. And 3 breaths there. Then we'll reach the right leg up high and bring it towards the front of the mat so that you end up in a long lunge. The back knee can be down to the floor. Lift the head and lift the chest, and then you could sweep the arms up and overhead. And we'll hold that for 3 breaths. Exhale the hands down to the floor, And then we're going to tuck the back toes and lift the back knee and bring the foot towards the front of the mat. Exhale to fold the face towards the knees. And then bend the knees, sitting back into your imaginary chair. Send the hands forwards and up. So you're sitting in Utkatasana, and then stand up. Exhale the hands to the heart. And just thinking about what this is in service to, it's a salutation. So what is it that you're saluting? So having that sacred intention. Inhale to lift up the arms and exhale to sit back into your chair. Take the hands to the floor and straighten the legs. Inhale to lift the head and exhale to step both feet back into your plank position. Drawing the pelvic floor in, and then let the knees come to the floor. Lower the chest and the chin. And then lower the hips, straighten the legs away from you and lift up the head. Exhale to lower the head. Inhale to tuck the toes. And exhale to come back through kneeling to your downward dog. And once you've got in position, then 3 breaths there. And then we'll lift the left leg high and bring it forwards so that you're in your long lunge. Back knee comes to the floor. Lift up the head and the chest. And then sweep the arms up and overhead. And exhale the hands to the floor. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, and step towards the front. Fold the face towards the knees. And then sit back into your imaginary chair, sending the hands forwards and up, and then straightening up. Exhale the hands to the heart. So, let's do some standing postures. Left foot is the front foot, and the right foot is going to come back wide for your triangle position. So straighten the front leg and shift the hips backwards so that the arms can reach forwards, 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 and then tip down. So you're reaching up. And if you imagine that you're slid between 2 panes of glass, you get that nice opening on the shoulders as well. And then look towards the floor, bend the front knee. You can either rest the elbow on top of the knee, or you can place the palm of the hand on the floor inside the front foot, and then reach the right arm overhead. So front knee's bent, and then you've got a long line from the outside edge of the foot to the hand. Sweep the right hand to the floor, and so you swivel on the back foot. You're on the ball of your back foot, and then reach the left hand towards the ceiling. Keep the back leg nice and straight so the knee doesn't dip too much. And then bring the hand back to the floor, and we'll walk the hands around to the middle of our mat. So you're in your wide angle forward fold. And then we can lower the head down, the crown of the head towards the floor. Think about lengthening through the spine and through the back of the neck. Even though you're not actively doing anything with the spine and the neck, Just think about them reaching towards the ground. And then we'll lift up. Walk the heels and the toes in just a bit so you can come up to standing. And then we'll go on the other side. So the right toes will be the front toes. And the left foot will be horizontal. So we're going for Trikonasana. So straighten the front leg, tip the hips back, and we'll reach forwards and tilt down. And then again, that option, bend the front knee and either rest the elbow on top of the knee or plant the hand on the floor. And then reach the left arm all the way overhead. And then the left hand towards the floor, swiveling onto the left ball of the foot, and then reach the right hand up. And bring the hand back to the floor, and we'll walk towards the midline again. So we're in your wide angle once more, and we'll do this slightly differently. So let's plant the right hand underneath your nose, so it's right in the center, and take the left hand and pat it onto your sacrum. So just start to turn to look towards over your left shoulder, but keep the hips straight. That's why the hand is there, just to remind the hips to stay straight. And then if you want, you could reach the left arm up if that feels comfortable. And then switch hands. So the left hand is going to replace the right hand. The right hand will pat the sacrum to tell it to stay still. And then look over the right shoulder. Reach the right hand up. And then hands come back to the floor. Walk the heels and the toes in. And come back up to standing. And then we'll just loosen off a little bit if you've picked up any tension. We're going to come back down to the floor via the Indian squat. So have the feet quite wide and the hands to the heart. And you either want something to pop underneath your heels or stay on the heels or sit on the bum when you come down. So upper arms go inside the knees. Tailbone lengthens towards the floor, as if you could ground with those tree roots again. And then tuck the chin in so that you could make contact with the third eye space with the fingers, the forefingers, and just gently massaging that space. And then come back onto seated and take the legs in front of you. So in Paschimottanasana, well, it will start in Dandasana, which is the stick. So have the toes back towards you, the hands either side of your hips on the floor, palms of the hands on the floor, and just sitting upright like this. And then we'll inhale and reach the hands up. And exhale and reach over the feet. Inhale to reach up. Exhale over the feet. Inhale, final time. And exhale to settle into your forward fold. Either with a yogi toe lock or holding onto the shins. And then visualize the breath traveling like a beam of light through that connection of the mudra of the body, that circuit that you've made, this energetic seal. Let the breath travel down the arms, feet, legs, up through the back, the neck, and back down. You can have the words in your head of cleanse and unblock, purify. It's this cleansing action of the breath paired with the pranic light that you're moving. So let's just come back up. And let's come to lie on the back for the bridge posture. So we'll have the feet on the floor and the knees bent. And the hands down by the hips. So the heels tucked right in towards the bum. And the hands by the sides. So just start to tilt the tailbone up and down a little bit, and you could just press into the feet and start to roll the spine up to where it's comfortable. And exhale to roll back down again. So it would be nice on the shoulders to include the arms if you're happy with that. Then as you lift up the hips, then sweep the arms up and overhead all the way to the floor behind you. And exhale to take the hands back down to the floor. And you could lift and hold the position so that the hands stay up and overhead and you press into the feet. And then just roll back down again. Leave the arms up and overhead if that's comfortable. And take the feet really wide, about as wide as the mat, and just drop the knees from side to side. And then we'll just bring the knees back to center and draw the knees in towards your chest. And then from there, just rocking from side to side. So just start to lower the knees down towards the floor as you come to each side. So you're just stretching into the back. And then when we come to the left-hand side, land the knees down on the floor. And take the left hand to hold onto the knees. I'm keeping my right arm extended along the floor above the head. But I know that is really uncomfortable for some. So you can take the right hand to wherever it feels comfortable. If you do keep the right arm up there, you will probably notice the feeling of warmth in the shoulder and in the armpit as the energy sort of pulls in the shoulder, and it's nice to turn the head to that direction as well. And turn the head back up to the center and bring the knees back up. And just like rocking from side to side with the knees hugged in again. You might want to draw the pelvic floor and the core muscles in as you're doing that. And then we'll land the knees down to the right hand side. So just position yourself as you are most comfortable in that position. Now settle in for about 5 or 6 nice deep breaths. And then bring the head back up to the center. Bring the knees back up to the center. And we're going to finish in our Shavasana posture. And we'll do a breathing exercise in Shavasana before we fully switch off. So just get yourself comfortable and let the hands flop and the feet flop. And bring your breath back to Ujjayi, back to that rhythmic, slightly deeper breathing. So we're going to do a staggered breath. It's breathing in for 2, holding for 2, in for 2, holding for 2, and then breathing out for 8. And then we'll do that a few times, and then we'll change the direction. So I'll guide you through the whole practice. So let's start by taking a deep breath in together and a breath out. And then breathe in for 2, hold for 2, in for 2, hold 2, breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in 2, hold 2, in 2, hold 2, breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in 2, hold 2, in 2, hold 2, breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in 2, hold 2, in 2, hold 2, breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now breathe in for 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe out. 2, hold. 2, out. 2, hold. 2. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe out. 2, hold. 2, out. 2, hold. 2. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe out. 2, hold. 2, out. 2, hold. 2. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe out. 2, hold. 2, out. 2, hold. 2. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And release the breath. Just notice any sensations in the body from the practice. And let the body kind of float in that space. And it helps to bring the focus to the third eye space, the internal gaze. Chittakash, it's called. And chitta is about the thoughts and the mind stuff. So chitta vritti nirodha is the aim of yoga according to Patanjali, this philosophical text of yoga. The steadying of the mind stuff. That's how it translates. So once the mind matter has settled in Chittakash, that's where we can enter a state of peace. A state of coming into our true selves. And as you just bring your awareness back into the body, and the breath a little deeper again, just being with yourself in this stillness, coming back into your center. And being aware of everything that is going on within you and in your present moment. Just welcome it and have this attitude of welcoming it with love and kindness as you would do anyone else. So we've got this mantra as well, Om Namah Shivaya. With great respect and love, I honor my heart, my inner teacher. So it's this sense that coming home into yourself and into your truth and into your heart is this place of great wisdom. With great respect and love, I honor my heart, my inner teacher. And just start to wiggle the feet and take a few stretches. And come back up to seated very slowly in your own time. And we'll just rub the hands together. And take the palms of the hands over the eyes. And just a bit of pressure around the eyes. And again, just rub the hands. And then take the hands to the shoulders this time. And just some gentle squeezing and massaging around the shoulders and the neck. Up into the scalp. Gentle massage into the temples. And then we'll just reach the palms up towards the sky, up to the infinite possibilities, and up to that which we can connect to at any moment. Everything, there's always so much going on, and at the moment there is so much going on. So tapping into this stillness and tapping into your soul is our only hope. That's how I feel anyway. Namaste.